Hi you guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking Night of Champion predictions, and I want to just say a disclaimer, this was recorded on Tuesday night, so anything that has changed or transpired between now and then will not be covered in this video, obviously, because it is pre-recorded, but I did, regardless of what happens, wanted to share my thoughts on the matches, who I think would win, and my thoughts on the whole event in general. So let's start with the event. With everything that is going on, we obviously know there's some serious stuff going on in the Middle East right now, and this is not a politics channel. I'm not going to be on here debating politics with you guys. It's just not what I do. I don't enjoy it, and I don't want to do it. But I will say, with everything going on and the seriousness of the situation, I personally think WWE should cancel or relocate Night of Champions. I think it's too big of a risk to still have it in Saudi with everything that's going on. And I personally think it puts too many people at risk as well. The safety of everyone is the most important part in this whole thing. Safety and people's lives are way more important than any money that you can get from a PLE or an event. And at the end of the day, we have to take a step back and realize how many people go into making these WWE productions. If you've been to a WWE production, whether it's a PLE or just a normal event, you have your producers, your announcers, your backstage crew, you have your setup crew, you have the superstars, you have everyone that is involved here. So there's so many people that this affects. And honestly, the number one priority should be keeping every single one of those people safe. And I saw a lot of people say, like, well, if they're not comfortable, then they just shouldn't go. And it's not that easy. This job to these people, this is their job. This is their, livelihood. And they can't always just not go. It might make them lose their job. So I just personally think the WWE, TKO, whoever it may be, should step in here and just say there's too many uncertainties, there's too many risks, and we need to really take the safety of our staff and superstars and everybody into accountability. So hopefully they will make the right choice, whatever that is to them. But that is just my take on it. I think it should definitely be canceled or moved. But getting into the actual matches and the match card, regardless of if it's canceled or moved, I'm going to give you my opinions on the matches that we have on the match card. So let's start off with the King of the Ring final between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Now, I think that this matchup between these two superstars is going to be great. They are both legends in the game. They have a lot of chemistry and a lot of history, and I think that they're going to give us a wonderful match. With that being said, I definitely think Cody Rhodes is the better choice to win here because I think that sets us up for Cody and John at SummerSlam 2.0. And that is kind of where Cody can try and get his revenge on John Cena for losing at WrestleMania. I love Randy, and I love that he's in this title card picture. I just don't think his match with John was not left open-ended at Backlash. It was kind of done. Typically, matches are left open-ended or there's some kind of revenge to get there. It really wasn't left open-ended. So I really think that this person is going to face John Cena. I don't think this person's going to face Gunther or whoever holds that title at this point in time. And so I think the better choice is definitely Cody for that. Now, with that being said, I love Randy, and if he wins, I'll be extremely happy for him. But I just think Cody is the better setup. Then we have the Queen of the Ring tournament prediction. And to be honest with you, I'm all on the Jade Cargill train. I think she's definitely going to win. I think that the WWE is trying to push her since she came back from injury and give her that solo run that she really hasn't gotten since she stepped into the WWE. So I think she definitely wins. However, I kind of think Asuka's the better choice. I think if Asuka wins, she should face Io Sky because they have history. They worked in Damage Control together. They've been friends. And I think that sets up a strong opponent for Io, who right now she doesn't really have. Io Sky doesn't really have that strong opponent. So I think if Asuka won, it would give her that. But I still feel like Jade is going to win because it's going to set us up for Jade and Tiffy. I just think that if Asuka won, that we could still get Jade and Tiffy because there is history there. If Asuka loses, I'm not sure what that looks like for Io or who she faces. So either way, I think both of these women are fantastic, and I think they're going to give us a great match at SummerSlam. I personally think Jade is going to win, but I do think Asuka would be the better choice at this point in time. Then, of course, we know it was announced 2 new matches on the match card. We have Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight, which I'm intrigued about, but I still feel like, and I talked about it a little bit in my Monday Night Raw video, I think there's something missing from this, and I don't know if it's because the momentum that we had before Raquel was hurt is not there anymore, if there wasn't enough build up. I'm not sure what it is, but I feel like something's missing. I feel like this match was kind of too quick. And I feel like we should have kind of drug it out a little more so that we could get that like fire going in this storyline. I expect Roxanne Perez to interfere, and I expect Raquel to win because of Roxanne's interference. We know that Roxanne is trying to weasel her way in the Judgment Day, and she has to win over Raquel because that is one of the main people that Liv trust, and so she has to win her over. And if she wins Raquel over, then she's already got Finn on her side, and the dominoes keep falling. So I feel like Roxanne is definitely going to interfere, going to help Raquel get this victory, and it's going to solidify her and Raquel being closer and her kind of replacing Liv. Now, what I will say is I really hope the WWE does not go down the same storyline that they did with Liv and Rhea. It was great for Liv and Rhea, but to repeat it would be kind of lackluster and boring. I hope that Liv and Dom stay together and break apart from the Judgment Day, and you have Raquel, Roxanne, and Finn on this side. And now I don't know where that leaves JD. He's right in the middle for me right now. I don't know if he'll follow Finn, if he'll go solo. I'm not sure, but I really want Liv and Dom to break apart. I don't want Dom to stay in the Judgment Day. I think that honestly, the whole Judgment Day aspect in general should break off. Because it's been going on for so long now. It's evolved so many times that I think it's almost done. I think that if anything, Finn, Raquel, and Roxanne should just start a new faction, and then Liv and Dom should just be on their own. But I really hope that they don't do the whole Roxanne still Dom storyline again, because we've already seen that. We've been there. We've done that. And to be honest with you, Roxanne and Dom will not replace what Liv and Dom have. The chemistry that they have is great, and it's great for a storyline, and it's great for the WWE. So ultimately, whatever happens in this, I hope that they leave Liv and Dom alone, because I think that's the best option for everybody. But I think Raquel will get the victory on Saturday, just because I think that the numbers are going to be on her side. Then, of course, we get to see Karrion Kross in a match. Finally, you guys, we've seen him cut amazing promo after amazing promo, and now we're actually going to get to see him in the ring against Sami Zayn. And I think this was a great decision by the WWE. I think putting Karrion in a match that means a lot, because this is the first time we've seen him in a while, and it's on a PLE stage. Against somebody like Sami, who really brings the best out of competitors, who is not afraid to help build them up and help them shine. I personally think this was an excellent choice, and I think it's going to start a big, big jump for Karrion. I think this match is going to give him the energy that he needs to really show what he's got and the talent that he has, and I think this will be a good start for his career. And I'm going to pick Karrion Kross to win this, because if I'm being honest with you, Sami Zayn is going to turn heel. We have seen the little bits and pieces of it for a while now, and this loss to Karrion Kross will just be another blow to his ego and another thing to drive him crazy. So I think Karrion's going to get the victory here, and I really hope that this is a good match for Karrion's sake, because he really deserves that push. And we have Jacob versus Solo. This is a match that I have been waiting for ever since Jacob won that title. It's a match that I feel like we knew all was coming eventually. And I don't think this is going to be the end of it. I think this is just the beginning of Jacob versus Solo in their feud. I will say I do get a little nervous because I'm a big Jacob fan. I'm a huge fan of his title run and I want him to continue it, but the numbers seem to be on Solo's side. He's got JC Mateo. He always pulls a rabbit out of the hat. So I am hopeful that Jacob can retain, but to bring depth to this feud, we could see Solo sneak away with the victory. What I will say though is we did see on Friday night that Jimmy Uso came out and helped Jacob, and I don't know if that was his like end goal to help Jacob or if he just wanted to beat the crap out of Solo. But either way, he helped Jacob, and so if Jimmy comes out, we could definitely get that even numbers. And I do eventually think we're gonna get a Jacob and Jimmy versus a Solo and JC Mateo match. And so I think that this is just the first of many matches in this feud. I think this one's going to be a long one coming. And I ultimately think that whatever ends it will end it at SummerSlam. I think this is the start of it and it'll end at SummerSlam and it'll just keep going. But I'm picking Jacob Fatu to come out victorious at the end of Saturday. And then finally, we have John Cena and CM Punk. And as much as I would love to say CM Punk wins this match, I don't think he does. I want CM Punk to have another title reign just as much as anybody in this world, but I don't think this is the time or the place to do it. What I will say is I can see something shady, something dirty happening here. We've seen John Cena have dirty trick after dirty trick to win and retain this title, and this is not going to be any short of that. He's done low blows, he's done title shots, Travis Scott's interfered. So really all cards are on the table of what's going to happen, but what I think will honestly happen is I think that Seth Rollins will either come out and distract Punk or one of his bodyguards will come out and cause some chaos for Punk, and Cena will ultimately win. And the reason why I think Seth Rollins is going to get involved is because we've seen the hatred between Punk and Rollins, and there's no way in hell Rollins is going to let Punk take that title. Like, the last thing on this earth Rollins wants is for Punk to hold a title before he does. So I definitely think that Rollins could interfere in this match and cost CM Punk, and that will set up an interesting SummerSlam for us as well, because we know that if John Cena goes on, Seth still has that briefcase. And we know that if Seth costs Punk, Punk's not going to let him have a successful cash in. So it just adds more pieces to the puzzle and it leaves us guessing, which I love in the WWE. I don't like when everything seems cutthroat and like this is what's going to happen. There's no guessing. We know everything that's going to happen from A to Z. I like the guessing aspect. So I definitely think that Seth Rollins is going to have some kind of interference between this match and John Cena is going to be victorious. Now, overall, I think this will be a good PLE. I think that adding the additional matches between Rhea and Raquel and Karrion and Sammy helped the card because it was only 4 matches before that. And I feel like a PLE should at least have 5 matches because they're usually 3-hour events. So we need at least a little more substance in those. What I will say is, and again, this is pre recorded, so anything that has happened between Tuesday night and Friday when I post this won't be covered in this video. But all I can say is I hope for the safety for everybody involved in this. I know that honestly, we are quick to say like, WWE should cancel, TKO should cancel. We're quick to say that, and I still fully believe that, but we also don't know what goes on behind the scenes and what they're doing currently. They could be trying to cancel and trying to move things, but it's not as easy as just a snap of a finger. So I think I just hope for safety for everybody involved. I hope that whatever decision is made is the right one, and ultimately that everyone here stays safe because, again, safety is huge. So hopefully this event will be great, whether it is Saturday, whether it is moved, whether it is rescheduled, whatever it might be. Hopefully it's great. Hopefully everyone is safe and protected, and yeah, thank you guys for joining me for this video. These are all of my predictions, and I always do PLE predictions. If you have not watched any of my other videos, I try to post at least every other day. Just my reactions to wrestling, to the PLEs, the regular shows, storylines, fun videos. So please subscribe to my channel. Like, comment, interact with me. I love talking with you guys and talking wrestling, so don't be shy. And follow me on all socials.